Hello and welcome back to Kidocracy at Large. I am Siddhan Chandra and here every Saturday to talk about kidocratic education happening in the world at large. It has been an exuberant week for kidocratic education in India. Kidocratic education is taught by minors and minorities, aimed at adults and the 99%. Kidocratic education reverses the usual flow of knowledge in which the stronger educates the weaker. We have the reverse in which the weaker entities educate the stronger. Kidocratic education aims to integrate the 99%, that is divided by the 1%, through sharing best practices so that we can regulate and control the 1%. A 21-year-old environmentalist, Disha has been arrested under a law of sedition that goes back to British times for editing and disseminating a toolkit in support of the Indian farmers' strike. The toolkit was uploaded in connection with Greta Thunberg, whose earlier tweets of support to the farmers had chagrined the Modi government. The government and the right-wing media are smearing local and international supporters of the farmers' strike as pro-Khalistani terrorists, linking them to the Sikh separatist movement. And the Indian police are blaming pro-Khalistani creators of the toolkit for waging a social, cultural, and economic war against the government of India. As to the toolkit, a Times of India article clarifies. A toolkit is a document created to explain any issue. It also provides information on what one needs to do to address the issue. This might include information about petitions, details about protests, and mass movements. Information for legitimate democratic activism. And I would like to quote a comment to this article by a typical right-wing BJP supporter. She has sinned and sinned against the interest of the nation. If the details are leaked, she and her anti-national gang will be fully exposed. What is at work in the Hindu nationalist clamor that is drowning out the voices of reason? To explain it kidocratically, I refer to value number 5 of kidocratic education, the flight from the molar to the molecular. I speak in greater detail in a video on value number 5 of the 9 values of kidocratic education. But briefly, the word molar refers to group identities, as with the state, the nation, the school, the family, the caste. And the word molecular refers to individual entities connecting with other individual entities, be they human, animal, plant, or rock, independent of group identities. The flight from the molar to the molecular was witnessed in Fridays for Future, when human children came out in huge numbers to defend 1 million species, non-human species, at risk of extinction because of our climate bankruptcy. Whereas Hindu right-wingers, like fascists everywhere, harp on molar identities of nation, of religion, and caste to persecute minorities, be they Muslim or Dalit, women or children, farmers or environmentalists. Disha is a poster child for climate activism. She has experienced flooding in her home in a low-lying area of Bengaluru, the city of my birth, the city of beans. And her motivation for climate activism came from what she witnessed her grandparents, farmers, going through because of the climate crisis. And as she puts it so well, we are not fighting for our future, we are fighting for our present. She had also stated during her activism in Fridays for Future that staying below 1.5 centigrade is not enough for several countries, and that we need to act on a just transition and a just recovery, and that we have the resources to make it happen. All that is needed is political will. This sounds like kidocratic education. To repeat, kidocratic education integrates the 99% in order to control the 1%. Along with Disha Ravi, 2 other people are legally implicated. Her lawyer Nikita Jacob and a fellow environmentalist Shantanu Mulak. Nikita Jacob is a member of Extinction Rebellion, a group that follows civil disobedience in order to educate the general public about the climate emergency. And Shantanu quit a job in aerospace engineering in order to focus on the environment. As a mutual friend of both put it, Nikita and Shantanu are speaking up for those who cannot. This reminds me of kidocratic value number 4, minoritarianism and base materialism. Minoritarianism requires an affiliation with the weaker entity. And here are these people speaking up for those who cannot. And base materialism in this context refers to getting one's hands dirty in order to defend the earth itself, base matter, and to risk political persecution, arrests, and smear campaigns to defend nature. In targeting Disha, Nikita, and Shantanu, Modi's neoliberal Hindu nationalist government has by default created the leadership of a new kind of education that is urgently necessary in India. The Indian public that has been previously divided and ruled by the British and continues to be divided and ruled by its own caste system is now being divided and ruled by Modi's neoliberal game plan for India. India is colonized by its own bourgeoisie. To paraphrase Frantz Fanon, the native bourgeoisie step into the shoes of the departing colonizers and carry on the colonial project under the guise of nationalism. And it requires nothing short of a social and intellectual revolution to decolonize India. And the Indian youth are leading it. Disha's arrest has ignited the project of democratization of India, its decolonization. Various protests by students and other groups have been organized to support her. Placards have said, "Standing for farmers is not sedition," and "When injustice becomes law, resistance becomes duty." This growing alliance between students, environmentalists, anti-capitalist farmers, and workers is a blossoming form of kidocratic anti-fascist education. It is also an intersectional movement connecting the various minorities. Indeed, this is the way to integrate the 99% in order to regulate and control the 1%. Till next week, bye.